Hey y'all, it's Lacey, the Catholic Icing Lady, and today I want to share with you how to draw some saints that have their feast days during Advent. So we're going to start with our paper sideways so we can fit 3 saints on the same piece of paper. So we're going to start with St. Lucy, and she's going all the way on this left side. So we're going to start with her crown, which has 4 candles on top of her head. And they're pretty small because, again, we're fitting 3 whole saints on this paper. Then we're going to add little teardrop shaped flames to the top of the rectangle candles. Now we're going to put the wreath part under that because she wears a wreath of candles in her hair. So I connected those lines, and I'm going to make a bushy line, almost like a cloud. But that's our greenery from her green crown. Now we're going to draw in her head, which is going to be a circle, but it's going to be connected to the crown. The crown overlaps it a little bit, like that, so it's on top of her head. And then we're going to go ahead and put in her wavy hair. She's going to have some long wavy hair, which we're going to add to both sides of her head. Then we're going to add some wavy lines inside of her hair, so it just makes it look a little more like hair. Very good. Now we're going to put in her neck, so 2 lines coming down and a line going across for her shoulders. Now we're going to line it up like there's an imaginary line going behind her hair and give her a sleeve on one side and line it up, and a sleeve on the other side. That's the top of her robe. Then we're going to bring the robe down and across the bottom and a line all the way from the top to the bottom. So there's her basic shape, and I'm going to put her hand in, and it's a little flat on top because I'm going to add a St. Lucy bun on her hand. So that's why I left it a little flat. Here we go. The St. Lucy bun is going to be like a snail shell, kind of, and then one going the other way. That's kind of how those buns are shaped, usually. So she's holding a Santa Lucia bun for St. Lucy's feast day. Now she gets 2 little curvy lines for eyes and another curve for her cute smile. Then I'm going to add a few more leaves in actually on her crown so it looks a little more leafy, so we know it's greenery. And now I'm going to put in her 2 little feet sticking out from under her gown. So just like her toes are peeking out from under her robe. Now she gets a sash around her waist. St. Lucy is usually pictured wearing white robes and then a red sash around her waist. It stands for her martyrdom. There we go. And there we have St. Lucy. Great job. Now we're going to add in Our Lady of Guadalupe besides St. Lucy. She also has her feast day during Advent. I'm going to put her head a little higher up on the paper like she's taller than St. Lucy and just start with a circle. So that's her head. Then we're going to add a basic neck shape. So again, just 2 little lines coming down. Then we'll attach them across the bottom with her shoulders, a straight line. Then we're going to bring down and make sleeves for her robe, 1 on each side. But we're not going to finish the bottom of her robe right now. For right now, we're going to come in and add her hair. So I'm going to give her a little hair on each side, and I'm going to color that in. Go ahead and shade it in black. Then she also gets 2 little curvy lines for eyes and a smile. Now we're going to add in her mantle that she wears on her head, and hers goes way down. So first we're going to put in 2 lines around her head, so that's the edge of her mantle. I'm going to go ahead and add in her little hands. There we go. Now we're going to draw like as if an imaginary line is going behind her arm, so we want it to line up and bring the edge of that mantle down. Because like I said, Our Lady of Guadalupe has a very long mantle. There we go, and I lined it up on that side too. Okay, so now we're going to draw in the rest of her mantle. So that's just going to go all the way around. And again, like it's going through behind her arm and then connecting at the other side. Now we're going to go ahead and bring her robe down now that we kind of know where her mantle is. And it's a little longer than her actual mantle. So you're going to bring the robe down a little bit farther. Then she also gets a sash around her waist, but Our Lady of Guadalupe's sash is always black. And in their culture, that signified pregnancy. So that means that in this picture, Our Lady of Guadalupe has baby Jesus in her tummy. She gets also 2 little feet popping out the bottom of her robe. Now, Our Lady of Guadalupe's mantle had stars all over it. And when it appeared on Juan Diego's tilma, the stars actually matched the constellations that were in the sky that night. So that's just a really cool part of that miracle. So we definitely don't want to forget her little stars. I'm drawing them like asterisks. It's just basically an X with a line going through it. Just some really simple little stars. Many as you want. There, I think that's enough stars for mine. Okay, now Our Lady of Guadalupe also has a little angel that goes underneath of her. So we're going to start with a teeny little circle head and add a little hair around that. Then he gets a little face with a smile. And now we're going to go and put in the arms, just a big shirt shape, very simple, and some little round hands. So there's our angel, but he still needs wings. So we're going to put in right there and line it up, and like feathers coming down. I'm going to give him 4 on that side, then another line here, and 4 feathers on this side. And that makes our little angel under Our Lady of Guadalupe. Now she's going to have a line that goes around her, but I think it will be easier if we put in St. Nicholas first. So we're going to put him over here on this right side, and we've left enough space for him. So his head's going to be lined up with St. Lucy's. So I'm going to put his circle for his head right here. Then we're going to draw a bishop's hat on top of his head because St. Nicholas was a bishop. So that's going to be shaped pointy, not quite like a Santa Claus hat, but pointy like that. And then you get these lines inside to make the pattern on the bishop's hat. Okay, now we're going to add in his mustache, just like that. And then he's going to get a big bushy hair and beard that's just going to go all the way around his head. Really simple. Then he also gets a smile and little curvy lines for his eyes. Okay, he's also going to be wearing robes. So again, that's really easy to draw. He just needs 2 arms. I'm bringing his arm up so he can kind of look like he's holding hands with Our Lady of Guadalupe. 1 sleeve on each side. Then we're going to bring the robes down, across, and the other line down. So he also gets 2 little feet sticking out from under the edges of his robes. Then we're going to put in his little circle hands, just like the other 2. And I'm going to make his hand touch Our Lady of Guadalupe's hand. But on this side first, we're going to draw a little bag that he holds. And it's going to be the little bag that he has his gold coins in. And then his hand goes behind the bag, just like that. Great job. Now we have all three of these Advent saints standing together, and we're ready to put that line around Our Lady of Guadalupe. So it's kind of the opposite of a cloud. It makes these little points that stick out, almost like a holly leaf, but she always has these yellow points all around her radiating out from Our Lady of Guadalupe. So we're going to put that in, and we just drew St. Nicholas first so we could make sure that this line went behind him. We're going to line that up and bring it all the way back around to the bottom. Very often, St. Lucy is pictured with star boys. They have star wands and stuff. So I'm just going to draw a little star beside St. Lucy on the ground over here. I think that would be a cute addition to our picture. And on the other side, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to add a little present beside St. Nicholas because he is famous for his secret gift giving. So I'm going to make that with a square. Then it gets a line for a ribbon and some loops for a bow on top of it. Now that I'm looking at this, St. Nicholas's robes still look a little bit bare. So I'm going to add in some more details that a bishop might have on his robe. So we're going to add 2 lines coming all the way down, and then kind of a triangle line at the top. And we're going to put some crosses in here. Yeah, I like that better. Okay, now because they're saints, they need halos around their head. So we're going to come in and put St. Lucy's halo first. It's a little tricky because she has that crown on her head with the candles, but we're just going to pretend like the line goes behind there and try to connect it like it lines up. There we go. Now, Our Lady of Guadalupe already has all that stuff going on around her, so I'm going to leave her alone, and I'm going to put in a halo around St. Nicholas's head right here. Again, like the line goes behind his hat and continues on the other side. You're doing an awesome job, and they're going to be even more fantastic after you color them. But before I show you what colors they usually wear, I wanted to share my printable Advent saints with you guys. These are another really fun way to celebrate the saint feast days during the Advent season. And because they make into ornaments, you can actually hang them on your tree on that saint's feast day. These are really cool because they print flat so you can color it in yourself, then it has directions to assemble it into the ornaments. St. Lucy and the Star Boy are possibly my favorite, although I think Juan Diego with his little sombrero and his rose and his tilma are absolutely adorable. The ornaments last all the way through Christmas to the Epiphany, so check that out. I'll have the link below in the description. Okay, so let's color these guys. St. Lucy's crown is green because it's made out of an evergreen wreath. Then I'm going to leave the candles white, but I'm just going to shade them a little bit with a light blue marker. And then her flames and her hair, I'm doing both with yellow, like she's got blonde hair. Then I'm going to take my brighter yellow and do her halo and some circles around my candle flames. Now, because the St. Lucia buns have saffron in them, they're also yellow. And I'm going to do the star yellow too. The sash around her waist is red, again, to symbolize her martyrdom, and the white robe symbolizes her purity. So we're just going to leave that white. Then I'm going to come in with a peach and do her skin. Now the St. Lucy traditions are extremely popular in Sweden, so that's why I've done her with the light skin and the light hair. I'm going to go ahead and put in this whole area around Our Lady of Guadalupe with yellow. It'd also be really cool if you took an orange and added some rays in there too. That would be cool. Okay, now I'm going to take a light brown and color her skin. So Mary is known for when she appears to someone, she appears to them in their same ethnicity. So Juan Diego was from Mexico and he would have had a light brown skin. So that's why I've drawn Our Lady of Guadalupe with that skin tone. Now her robes are pink, her sash is black. In a minute, we're going to draw her mantle that goes around her across the top of her head. So I'm going to put in the stars on that mantle with a yellow. And then I'm going to go around them with blue. Then the edge of her mantle was also like a yellow or golden color. So I'm just going around the yellow that I put on the stars. There's not a black line, but I'm just going around the yellow. And then the places behind that yellow line will also be blue. And then we'll make the line yellow, goes around the edge. Now we're going to color in the little angel, and I'm going to take my light blue marker and shade his wings. Now St. Nicholas always wears red, so that's a no-brainer. We're going to color him in red. And once I get all that red finished, I'm going to give him some black shoes, which I could have done just when I drew him, but I didn't. So we're going to color him in black now. Then I'm going to add the details on his bishop's robe in yellow, like it's a yellow or golden color, and his halo. And you know what, you guys, I know this is too fast for you to color along, but when it gets to the end of the video, you can just pause it to match my colors, okay? St. Nicholas was from what's modern day Turkey, so he also has kind of a medium skin tone. And I'm going to give him a little brown bag, and I'm going to color his present green. Great job with your Advent Saints, and remember to check out the link below for my Advent Saint ornaments. God bless!